What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Different Lens podcast. My name is Juan Felipe Sierra. I've been in the entertainment industry for the past 14 years, and this is...
And I'm Daniel. You're your nerd. I like games, movies, music, anime, everything.
Everything. All right. So what do we have in the docket today?
All right. So for today, we're going to go with the continuation of comics.
Mm-hmm.
So we already talked about, we talked about the X-Men, right? So it was not necessarily a comic house per se, right? It was just more like a
branch.
Yeah, a branch of Marvel Comics. But
Yeah.
today we're going to go into DC. So we're going to actually talk a little bit about DC. In general, what do you think about it? How do you like DC? How, the characters in DC and why I think some of those characters are far superior than some in Marvel, right? And why DC has been failing everywhere else compared to Marvel.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
let's take it over with what do you think? Why do you think? First of all, let's just start with that question. What do you think that DC has been falling behind so far? Is it the rights to some of the comics? What do you think is happening with the way that we see the comics being portrayed on like movies and the media like itself? It's lacking.
Yeah, I think it's that there's an overall lack of direction,
Yeah.
like a cohesive timeline, because the way that they structured, like, for example, the DCEU, I don't mind it. I thought, like, starting with, like, the Justice League, I thought it would be, like, a great jumping off point because you could see the Justice League and how everything impacted them. And then you could go be like, oh, this is what led to it.
Right.
And kind of be like an anthology. A prequel. But everything that just ended up happening, it was just, like, terrible decision after terrible decision after terrible decision. Like, for example, I really like Man of Steel.
Okay.
I really like it. I think it's a great way to show how Clark, being the, like, insecure little kid, and how, his life was very impacted by just different things.
Yeah.
But for example, one of the dumbest decisions from that movie was to have a tornado take out Pa Kent, whatever his name is. In the comics, it's such a profoundly beautiful thing that the thing that kills his dad is a heart attack. Something that Superman can't prevent. With all of his godly powers, with all of his amazing things, the thing that kills his dad is a simple heart attack. To me, that's much more beautiful than a giant tornado and him being like, no, I will sacrifice myself. To me, that's one of the dumbest decisions because it kills the poetic irony about the whole thing. Now, when it comes to a lot, like, they used to be the kings when it came to the animated movies.
Yeah.
And TV shows, because you had Justice League, you had Justice League Unlimited, you had Batman the Animated Series, you had Superman the Animated Series, you had The Flash, you had Teen Titans, you had, like, all of those shows were amazing. I love those shows. But lately, ever since, I would say, Flashpoint Paradox, it's just been declining and declining and declining and declining and declining. Like, the Injustice movie, I thought it was terrible. All of the new Batman movies, especially, what was it, like the Bat Family, I thought it was terrible. It's like something in the blood, whatever. I thought that the what is it, the latest Justice League movie, like the war and all of that, I thought it was terrible. The jokes do not land. The dialogue is cringy. They didn't bring back some of the original voice actors. Like, to me, it's just, there's no cohesion.
Yeah.
And for example, they don't have, the writers that made these characters so big, like, Paul Dini, like Bruce Timm, like all of them, and they don't have a voice director like Andrea Romano, who is the one that directed most of those shows and those movies, and that made them what they are.
Right.
I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that end because I've noticed so many inconsistencies, especially in the animated side of it. When it comes to the animation itself as well, like, come on, they're really big studios.
Yeah.
But consistently, you've seen them having a lack of good animation, which is just makes the movies not all that good.
Yeah.
And then also, for example, what they did with Injustice, trying to pack a humongous story into like I think it's like 1 hour and a half. I think
An hour and a half, yeah.
I'm like, there's so much to do and talk about. Why would you just cram everything up? I think a Flashpoint also had that, and I think they also crammed it up so much. Though I still enjoyed it a little bit when I watched it back then, because I love the Flashpoint. But I feel like they just rush a lot of things instead of just give us 2 parts. Which right now, for the most part, The Watchmen. So they did the movie a few years ago. It was a 3-hour movie.
Yeah, the 2008, 2009.
I think it was around there. Yeah. I didn't mind it. I actually thought it was pretty decent.
It was pretty decent, yeah.
The effects were great. I think they looked pretty cool. Rorschach looked pretty
Rorschach, cool. What was the guy? The blue guy?
The professor. I can't. Dr. Manhattan.
Dr. Manhattan with his giant dick everywhere.
Yeah. But the effects for that one were really good.
And like, Jeffrey Dean Morgan as the comedian.
Yeah. But Dr. Manhattan looked amazing. Like to me, it was pretty well done. And then right now they just released an animated, that 3D animation that we don't. That is kind of but it touches a little bit more on the story, and it goes a little bit more in depth of why they were getting killed, like following the person who killed them and stuff like that. And it's actually decent. And then they broke it down in parts. So you have part 1, and now you're going to have part 2. And I think that's cool to see because it gives you a more backstory in it. And so I think I just feel like for the vast majority, they just have a lot of inconsistencies, like you're saying. And they just never do justice to the comics anywhere else.
And also, like, they've been having like one of the greatest comics of all time, which is The Killing Joke. They made it into the movie, and unfortunately, it was the last time that Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill worked together. And to me, it was a giant disappointment. I don't know about you, but to me, it just didn't hit the mark. The art style didn't fit what it actually was.
Yeah.
Of course, the comic is so extremely detailed that to be able to make it into an animated show, it would have been impossible.
Well, no, but I mean, listen, anime has been doing this for a long time. They release incredibly beautiful animations. I'm not saying recreate it 1-to-1, but at least put more effort into it. And I think this is aside from DC, one of the biggest gripe that a lot of people have been having with like Invincible, right? It's just the animation. You are spending so much money in the voice acting, like a crazy amount of acting, like voice actors. And then the animation is like, it looks like a still frame, and they're like flying, and it's just like the frame is still, and they're flying, like everything is moving, but like the character is like steady. So it's just, I don't know why DC has always done that. Where like, I don't know, they're trying to save so much money like on the animation side, but I'm like, bro, just give us one good animation, one clean animation that you're like, man, that was incredible.
That's why to me, like, the best Batman movie is Death in the Family. Because it has amazing animation. The animation is so fucking crisp. It has tremendous voice acting with which to me is a great second choice for Batman, which is Bruce Greenwood. Then you have a great Joker in John DiMaggio. You have Jason Eccles as the Red Hood. You had, a bunch of great actors that did amazing work, but the animation in and of itself, the fight scenes are great choreographed. The choreography is amazing. You had Neil Patrick Harris as Nightwing.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty dope, and he did actually pretty good. So give us more of that. Give us a great movie like Mask of the Phantasm. Give us a great movie like the original Death of Superman. No, not this latest one that to me was just terrible. What other movies can you think about?
I actually enjoyed a little bit of The Dark Knight Returns.
The Dark Knight Returns Part 2 especially. Yeah. Part 1 was fine. I thought like they were building up the whole thing and they gave all the backstory and they took their time, which is exactly what we're talking about. They took their time. But Part 2, when you hear the hits between Superman and Batman, and I just loved it.
Yeah. That was good. And in terms of like movies, like actual movies like with people, I think we've been fortunate to have some that have been good. Yeah. Right. Obviously some questionable ones, but for the vast majority, I feel like the Batman has had one of the better ones.
Yeah.
Compared to the rest of them, especially like when you compare like the Wonder Woman, the recent Wonder Woman,
Yeah,
which some people really
1984.
enjoy. Yeah,
Yeah.
some people enjoy it, and nothing wrong if you enjoyed it. I personally was iffy about it, but the Batman ones in comparison have been much better.
Yeah. I think the reason why is because they focus less on effects
CGI.
on CGI than they focus more on the story and the ambience. And that's the whole thing. Like that's why I love Christopher Nolan's trilogy of the Dark Knight trilogy, is because they focus on the ambience. They give the place where they are a mood, a feeling.
But you know what? Listen, one thing that I do have to say is CGI is not bad, right?
No, not at all.
And it's just when the CGI is not done properly, it takes the immersion out of it. For example, the biggest disappointment, one of my favorite heroes of all time, is Flash.
Oh yeah.
The movie for Flash, the CGI was so questionable that I'm like, how do you approve this to go out like that? Like, I don't mind when there's a lot of CGI.
Yeah.
That I don't mind. It's virtually impossible to make a human look like when it was running fast, or like Superman flying at super speeds. Like it's virtually impossible to give it the proper look. But for example, we have had movies in Marvel when we compare the X-Men, the scenes from the Quicksilver.
Yeah, and in Avengers Age of
him
Ultron,
they made him look great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And not only that, you see him like, because yes, the most of the time you just see the blur of him
Yeah.
running around, but in the actual, like, there are a few scenes where you actually see him, like you're following him going around, and it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
You want to know why I think one of the reasons why it looks great, because they don't focus on the face.
Okay.
A face is one of the hardest things to do when it comes to CGI, not only to do it properly, but to make it look believable.
Yeah.
So if you follow behind him, you're gonna be able to do movements, you're gonna be able to do, and plus, like, Aaron Taylor Johnson is beautiful. Ezra Miller just looks like a little creepy motherfucker. And the suit to me looked terrible.
Yeah, I think one of the better scenes that I thought was really cool, obviously despite all the animation, was when he faces through, I think it's like a door or a wall, and like you go to like the eye,
the eye,
and it's like the eye's facing through, and like it goes to like, I think it's like molecular level and shit like that. You're like, wow, like that was cool.
Yeah.
And then everything else just
like even when you know the scene where he's about to run and you see his shoe and you just see everything like
yeah.
that, to me is cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, to make
And
it
then just
actually so
make it a blur. I'm okay. I know Flash is fast.
Yeah.
Just don't give me that slow running weird pose that his man was doing of like bringing the hands like that. I'm like, what the fuck?
I know that I was about to bring that point up.
What the fuck is this running?
I was about to bring that point up because he looks like he is gliding. He doesn't look like he's running, because nobody runs like this.
Yeah, even in normal speed, nobody's running like that.
Like if
why?
you saw somebody running like this, you're gonna be like, the hell's wrong with this idiot? I think they should have studied like how, like, somebody like Usain Bolt or somebody that runs track and somebody that has that runs really fast, how they run.
Yeah.
Why? Because they pose themselves a little bit different. They stretch themselves a little bit different. Their bodies look a little bit different. So if they study how those people run and train the actor to run like those people, I think they would have yielded a much greater thing.
And even arguing, saying maybe Ezra Miller, well, the Flash, Barry Allen, on that movie, he's very much still kind of maybe learning a few things. So you could argue, say, like maybe hasn't had the proper pose of like, like maybe later on he's like more like that because he's more seasoned as a Flash. But even then, the running just doesn't add up.
It doesn't make sense.
Like that running, that way of running just doesn't add up. And I get the point of like saying he's running at a pace, like you're having a camera seeing him at a pace that looks normal to him, and that's why it looks weird to us, I guess, in a way. But it just doesn't make sense either.
It's just the running mechanics of the body. Like if you start doing this, you're not aerodynamic.
I just don't know why they did it.
It just doesn't make sense.
In any case,
whatever. Yeah.
It sucked. When we talk about the latest Batman, I actually really enjoyed it. Robert Pattinson, I think, did a great job. The movie itself was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm happy listen, and this is gonna probably angry some people. I don't know if it's gonna anger you, but I'm happy we're done with the Zack Snyder the Snyderverse.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm
I'm
happy.
so happy with that.
I was not enjoying that.
I don't think that Zack Snyder is a good director. He's a good visual storyteller. Like he can bring some really cool shots, like in that sense. Because if you saw, I don't know if you saw Sucker Punch.
Yeah.
So
They were cool.
You have great ideas when it comes to what visuals to bring, but story wise, I don't think he's a good storyteller, and I don't think the way that he was approaching things was the right way to do so. So again, this is why I think the Marvel universe rocked for so many years. Now is, but for so many years,
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that, especially next episode. The person that had the vision and that followed the vision was Kevin Feige. Yes, you had a lot of people around him that, of course, were the ones that I'll make a lot of those things happen. But Kevin Feige was the person that was consistent throughout.
Yeah.
I'm not saying everything we owe the success of the Marvel universe only to him.
Yeah.
But there is a level of, okay, if we have one person that is the follow through, because look at Star Wars. Star Wars happened the same thing. It was J.J. Abrams that did a great episode 7, in my opinion. Yes, you're recycling a lot of episode 4, but then you brought in Rian Johnson that completely like blew everything up. And in a lot of ways, I like them. And in other ways, I'm like, that's just ridiculous. And they try to bring in J.J. Abrams again to undermine and undo everything that Rian Johnson did, who undermined and undid everything that J.J. Abrams did. So if you don't have a cohesive follow through, you're not gonna have a good product. That's why I like now that they made
James Gunn.
No, I was talking about Star Wars. They made what's this guy? The guy that directed Dave Filoni.
Okay.
He's the person now that is like in charge of that. So there's gonna be a better cohesion. He's a huge nerd, which I love. There's gonna be a lot of more cohesion when it comes to that. Now, with DC, how James Gunn is taking over, I recently saw an interview that he said that this Superman movie that he's making is the first superhero movie that he's making. Because if you look at his previous movies, the Guardians of the Galaxy are a bunch of criminals, technically, that become the Guardians of the Galaxy, but they're not superheroes. They're like they're like police. And all the other movies, like the Suicide Squad, they're not superheroes, they're villains. And like everything that he's done is not Peacemaker. He's not a hero.
Not at all.
So Superman is the first hero that he makes, and I'm excited for it. Like the more I see of it, the only thing that I'm like is some camera angles.
The CGI.
A little bit of the CGI, but some of the camera angles, especially when he's flying, he's reusing a lot of what he used for Adam Warlock from the third movie, which I didn't really like, that POV fish eye lens of like the guy that just kind of looks like stretched. I don't like that. Like now, for example, there's a shot in the trailer where he's like standing still and he just shoots up and you go, like the camera takes a little bit to go up to him. I love, because it makes it a little bit more realistic. Yeah, of course there's no camera that would able to do it, but it looks like, oh shit, you know.
Yeah, like you're trying to say,
kind of like sports. You know how sometimes like you have soccer players that go out of frame and you're like, ugh.
Yeah.
I love it. It makes it look a little bit more human. What do you think?
Yeah, no. I'm excited for James Gunn. 100%. Like again, the Zack Snyderverse, whatever the fuck this called. Pardon me, but it's just it was getting on my nerves just because they were changing so much of it. Like the tone was trying to be so dark for everything that I'm like, that's not the way it is. I certain there's a lot of comics that are very dark. Yeah. So then give them the darkness that they deserve to those comics, but then don't try to make Superman all gritty and dark and like. I personally did not enjoy that because Superman is not that. Yeah. Superman is not a dark character. Superman is supposed to be the number one hero, the most, I guess, like lighthearted superhero there is, right? And you make him dark. And I'm like, I did not appreciate that, at least myself personally. But, then right now with James Gunn, the way that I'm seeing that it's going for that specific purpose of like Superman is still learning how to be Superman. He's taking a lot of beatings. Yeah. So he's humanizing a little bit of this godlike character. And I'm really excited to see that just because is introducing a little bit of that again we haven't seen in a while, and I'm excited to see that.
What do you think of the recent Superman like animated show, the one that is like very anime style? What do you think of that?
That's isn't Nicholas Hoult doing the voice acting? No, is it Nicholas Hoult
I don't remember.
or the guy from The Boys? Peter
I
Quill.
don't remember.
Peter Quill.
No.
Jeez.
No. I know
It's
who
not
you're
Peter
talking
Quill.
about. I know who you're talking
I
about.
know you know, but it's not Peter Quill. I'm like, what the fuck? Actually enjoyed it. It was fun. It was a fun show. I think see, like, animation is cool, the voice acting is great, and I think it's very lighthearted.
Yeah.
That you're like, okay, yeah, Superman is falling for Lois, and you kind of have that as well going through it. Like,
Isn't
it's cool.
Jack Quaid?
Jack Quaid.
Yeah.
So you have a little bit of that, and I'm like, this is cool. I enjoy that. Again, coming from that Zack Snyder universe where it's like really dark and stuff.
Dark and gritty.
Yeah. For Batman, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I'm okay. 100% for Batman. Make him dark, make him gritty. That's cool for Batman. Not Superman.
Yeah.
Not the Flash. Right? And I think that's where it failed a lot because they try to make Flash a little bit more lighthearted. But it just didn't stick
It's just
to landing.
cringy. It was just cringy. Yeah. Now, when it comes to certain storylines, like I don't know if you read the entire run of Injustice. What do you think of those stories where they always like sell better when they make Superman dark?
I love it. I actually do love it. Again, there's a space for it, in my opinion. And when they do it, I feel like it's a really good thing to do. I think there is one, Jesus Christ. There is a comic where Superman lands in the Soviet Union.
Oh, Red Sun.
Red Sun. That's really cool. I love to see those type of ideas being brought into place because, yeah, think about it. What would happen if Superman, the strongest superhero, goes into the bad side? You're dealing now with like a fucking powerhouse of a character. I love those things. And I loved Injustice just for that purpose. I picked up Injustice just because I wanted to read that and see a Superman just falling into being the bad guy. And I loved it.
But that's the thing. Like, I think that people, since they always see him as a Boy Scout, they always try to put him in situations where he has to be the dark version of him. And while, like you said, it has its moment, it has its place, I think people forego the fact that he is supposed to be a bringer of hope. Somebody that is supposed to be kind of like the best versions of who we are.
Yeah.
Injustice was a great game. It was a great comic run, and I love the fact that you just see that he is from, like, he just wasn't born bad or whatever. He just didn't turn bad. Is the fact that, you know, it's something that the Joker did that it was so heinous that I was like, holy shit. I love
that you can think about the Killing Joke reference of it only takes a bad day. Yeah. And that's precisely what happens in Injustice.
Yeah.
Because he was good, but it just took one little thing and you just sent them over the line. And I love that.
Yeah. Well, it took a little bit because it was also like nuking, Metropolis.
Yeah.
And nuking Coast City. And also him killing his wife with his unborn baby. Like, I love the fact. It was
one bad day.
Yeah, one bad day.
It's exactly a Killing Joke.
And I love the fact that he goes so far into his pain as to, like, kill Billy Batson and kill the Green Arrow. And one of my favorite panels of all of that comic run was when Alfred takes the pill and he just breaks his nose, and he goes, I thought better of you, sir, or something like that. He said something like very like disappointed, like a disappointed dad. And it comes right, and then he comes right after Superman breaks Batman's back. But that shot of just
I loved it. See, exactly. So going back to that is exactly what I'm trying to say. There's a space for it. There's a space for the characters to be bad. Give them that space. I have no problem. But that's what I'm saying with my with the Snyderverse is he was not going for those type of stories. He was going for the main stories. And I'm like, okay, I get it, but you're going for the main Superman story and you're making him so dark.
And also, like, the fact that everything was like Jesus reference is like, bro, come on. Like you see him like in the space, like,
Yeah.
and he's always draped with light, and it's like, come on, dude, like you're not making a Jesus movie,
Yeah.
you're making a Superman movie.
The suit was cool. Had it been lighter, maybe.
Yeah,
Because it was a cool suit.
Yeah.
It was a cool suit. And I don't mind Henry Cavill as Superman.
I loved
thought
Henry
he
Cavill as
looked
Superman.
great.
Yeah,
But again, it's just maybe a different director. And Henry Cavill maybe will still be playing Superman to this day.
yeah,
We probably would have more movies. And we probably would still have like Matt Reeves that played Superman for years.
yeah.
We might have that. But instead we didn't.
Let me ask you,
Sucks.
how? Let's do a little experiment right now,
Yeah.
because I don't know if you agree. I'm sure you do, but I still want to ask. I hated the Batman versus Superman movie.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think about
Yeah.
it? So what we're about to do, and this is very impromptu. I didn't tell you this before because I wanted to see how your fresh take. Let's pitch a Batman versus Superman movie
Okay.
that would happen today. It's not like, oh, it happened no, it would happen like this year.
Mm-hmm.
How would you do it?
Well, I definitely love the concept behind Batman being like, this guy is destroying everything on his path. So definitely, that's one of the main things that I would want to play out the same way, in the sense of like, there is a major threat and then Superman has to step in. And you know how I love this in the trailer. He says, "I'm representing me. I wasn't on behalf of any other. I was representing me." Right now in the section where he's getting an interview.
Yeah.
I love that, because that could be part of that whole section where like there's a gigantic threat. He goes in to save everybody, and obviously there's massive destruction, massive loss of life, because he's trying to prevent that. But he gets there and he's obviously fighting. There's massive, and then Batman sees that as, something is not right with this guy. There's so much destruction, and he was in the middle of it. You know, the tower, Justice Tower, I think it's called, where Batman has the contingency plan for every single one of the superheroes.
Yeah, Tower of Babel.
Okay. And then obviously Ra's al Ghul takes over and fucks everybody up, and then he has to come back. Anyways, I love the fact that Superman is going through stuff, and then Batman is just like thinking like, okay, I need to do something, because if this guy loses control, we're in trouble.
Yeah. One of the hardest and most amazing lines from Batman v Superman was, if we even think that he has a 1% chance of going bad, we need to take it as an absolute certainty.
Yes.
I love that, because it encompasses who Batman is.
Yeah.
And I love the shot. There's two shots that I'm like, that was amazing. When he runs into the actual rubble, and when he's holding the child with the Wayne sign on the side, like looking up, seeing all the destruction.
Exactly. Now, I would not bring in Doomsday.
No,
never. And I wouldn't make Lex Luthor the villain.
I would.
Okay.
I would. And this is the thing that I've thought about this for years. And I thought, like, when they said that it would be a young Lex Luthor and he would have like his media company, I immediately went, holy shit, that is a great idea. Why?
Yeah.
Because you could have one of these like InfoWars, like super conspiracy theory, like social media things, where you fuel that flame of Batman's paranoia of, hey, this guy is destroying the cities everywhere he goes. There's massive destruction everywhere he goes. There's massive loss of there's mass casualties everywhere he goes. It's just death, destruction, and poverty and death and whatever. We need to do something about this guy. And Batman, being super paranoid, he's like, I need to get this guy on board because we need to plan what's going on, whatever. And then he can start fueling the flames of Superman, being like showing up to him. Maybe they could be friends, since like kind of like Smallville, they were friends when they were young. Clark would be like, yo, what are you doing? Like, why are you painting me in such a bad picture? And they could have an interview where they could have one of these like angering interviews where they're just like, they're just throwing shade at each other. And he could be saying like, look, at least I'm not like that maniac from Gotham that is just, hurting the poor. He's hurting like people everywhere. Like the crime hasn't gone down. Like he has no resolve, whatever. And he could also fuel Superman's sense of like, oh, you talk about, you know, all of this injustice, but you yourself are doing all of these terrible things. So even though his methods are not as big as yours, you guys are doing the same thing. You were
Right.
both like agents of destruction. You're both hurting people. You're both not finding solutions to this. And that's when they start like, oh, he's my enemy. Oh, he is my enemy. You know, I'm the way that I'm doing things is right. No, the way that I'm doing things is right. So that's where you start pitting them against each other. And Luthor is just making bank on this. And he's like, yes, this is what I want you to do because I can take both rivals at the same time. That's when you can have like a political underside to this where he's paying politicians off and he's the one that is like making people crooks on this side, and he also has a financial thing on the other side of all of these companies that he's taking out. They benefit me, so that's why I'm also trying to get rid of these.
Right. That's very cool. I like that idea. Because
What else would you add?
because yeah, definitely controlling the media is something definitely that Lex Luthor would do, and ensuring that everybody sees him as a bad one. Yeah, I mean, I would. Yeah. A lot of isolated issues of like a lot of times where like, you know, Batman is just in the back of like seeing. And I feel like one thing that could be done also is he starts trying to see who can help him because obviously Superman is way stronger than him. And not just like build up a suit whereas like with this suit, I'm going to take you down because it's cool. The idea is cool, definitely, but also have like some sort of backup plan because he always has a backup plan of
Correct.
Like, maybe I need to enlist somebody to help me with this guy. You know, maybe bring somebody else to help me take this guy down because I alone, I'm not going to hold a candle to him.
Yeah.
And maybe that's when, you know, maybe he introduces maybe, I don't know, one or two new heroes in there, like additional heroes that help him out. And then maybe he studies the kryptonite. He realizes kryptonite is something that he needs to have. I don't know, maybe brings Green Arrow. He's like, listen, you're going to be my contingency plan. You see me failing, you can take the shot.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, but then he's like, are you willing to kill this man? And that creates a whole dilemma of like, Batman doesn't want to kill him, but also needs to stop him because Batman doesn't kill. But the Green Arrow is like, if I shoot it, I might kill him. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
And that creates another dilemma of like, Batman also trying to figure out how to stop him without killing him, but also incapacitating him and not losing his life in the process. So it's a cool idea of like, maintaining the whole media aspect of like everything over here, and also Batman trying to figure out not just Batman is going to go straight in, build a suit and go straight into Finn because Batman would get obliterated. It's more like, and then Martha, and then it's like, we're brothers because your mom is Martha, my mom is Martha, we're good.
Yeah,
let's go kick somebody else's ass.
Yeah, we're about to kill each other, but my mom has the same name as your mom. Oh my god,
exactly,
bro.
Instead, more like that, like more like Batman is really calculating the fact that my odds against this guy are like really bad. Like I have no chance of winning this, and he needs to figure that part out.
And you know what? I would love to see like Batman like baiting Superman as like, oh, you want to meet? We're going to meet in this place. And we're going to see each other in this place. And Superman, already coming in on edge, tries to like scans everything. And the first time he fails, Batman fails. And like Superman tells him like, I know exactly what you're trying to do. You're not going to bait me into it. We're going to talk outside. And Batman being like, no, I need to have protection against you because you can take me out. And Superman being like, but I'm not. And Batman being like, I don't have a certainty to do it.
Right. 100%.
And then Batman figures out how Superman is doing the whole X-ray vision, and he covers everything in like protective layers. And Superman like comes into a warehouse, and he's like, okay, you know, I'm not oh my god, okay, I'm not trying to do anything bad to you, whatever. And like Batman can just like tie him and like super tight ropes, whatever. And Superman is like, is this how you feel that we should talk? And Batman's like, yeah, I finally have, Jesus, dude. Oh, it smells like shit. Whatever. And Batman being like, yeah, because, you know, I can't compete against you, whatever. And Superman is just kind of like tied together, and they have their ideological talk. They have their like, no, but you're killing people. And Superman being like, I'm not killing anybody.
Yeah.
It's just that when I show up, things go worse just by me being there. Like I don't even cause all of this, whatever. And then they kind of resolve their things, and then Superman is like, "Are we done?" Batman being like, "Yeah," and Superman could just.
Just smack away.
That's why, like in the original, like Man of Steel, when he just like breaks out of his thing, I thought it was the boss move. So if he's just tied up for the entire time and he makes Batman thinks he has the upper hand the entire time, and Superman just goes, "Oh, we're done, okay," and he just like flies away. That would be such a mind fuck for Batman. Yeah, and I would love to see that.
Yeah, and then that's again when he's like, "Oh fuck, like this guy can take me down."
Yeah.
And then he needs to be like, "All right, I need somebody to help me because I'm gonna get my ass kicked."
DC, hire us. We got you, homie.
Listen, one of the biggest things that I have with DC is against Marvel, against anybody, right? DC has, and this might be, one of those things that like might trigger somebody, but in my opinion, Marvel has more characters that are recognized today, thanks to obviously the great job that they have done. But DC holds the candle of like the most iconic characters.
Yeah, for sure.
100% in the sense of everybody knows Batman, everybody knows Superman, and they have the most iconic villain of all time with the Joker. I think that's one thing that like they created those characters, and it's like you can never forget them. Like immediately you know who they are. Obviously there are some other characters that are not as big or like stand out as big as some others. Like you show somebody like a picture of the Green Lantern, they'll be like, I don't know, right? Unless you know, right? Or comics or games or anything like that, you recognize them. But like if you show somebody like randomly, I don't know. But you show Batman, they'll be like, I've seen that guy. I think I know exactly who that is. Superman, you're like, oh yeah, that's Superman.
Yeah.
So they're so iconic to that degree. Which, again, Marvel has been doing that really good thanks to the Marvel Universe. They did a phenomenal job on, like, bringing the Avengers and bringing, right, all the villains. The Iron Man, yeah, of course. And all the villains that they've been bringing that before you'd be like, who's Ultron? Right? Like, some people that don't watch it, and I'm just saying this from the people that never watch it or anything like that, they'll be like, who's Ultron? Right? Who is the guy from the Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, Ronan, the accuser. Like, what the fuck is that, right?
Yeah, and
but they brought him to in a really good way. No, go ahead.
No, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry. DC made a great show of it with Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. There are so many characters that I know from those shows that I was like, holy shit, like Green Lantern. I never imagined that Green Lantern was Hal Jordan. To me, Green Lantern is always Jon Stewart. And I got the chance to meet Phil Lamar, the voice of Green Lantern. I love that guy. Same thing with like really obscure characters like Mr. like Mr. Terrific, like one of my favorite characters that I think he's so underutilized, Martian Manhunter.
Really cool character.
Awesome character.
Hawkgirl,
Hawkman, Doctor.
Listen, Shazam was great.
Fate, Shazam.
The first movie Shazam, I liked it.
Yeah.
The second one, I wasn't a fan, but the first one, I loved it
because it had that campy John Hughes vibes of like, oh, we're discovering our powers. Hell yeah.
Exactly. And he brought that again, that lighthearted superhero I don't know if you guys been craving. I've been craving lighthearted superheroes because that's who they are. They're not this dark guys who like, I'm gonna bring and I'm gonna destroy everybody. No. Yeah. They're lighthearted, and I love like some of the scenes. One of my favorite scenes is when he's fighting the Doctor, and they're like different sides of the building. He's like, huh? And the guy's like doing this whole monologue, and then Shazam is like, I don't hear you. That is such a great moment because if you think about it, he was like, I'm gonna destroy you. And then he is completely on the other side of the skyscraper, and he's like, what?
To me, one of the best shots is when he's like jumping and he jumps off the roof and he goes, Shazam! And just immediately, that's a great shot.
That movie, the first movie, was phenomenal for me.
Yeah.
I loved it. The whole, exploring the powers.
When he's jumping and he like falls down. Yeah,
it's beautiful. Awesome. I really enjoy that. So, I think that.
What do you think is now like how the future of DC looks from movies, from animated shows, from games? Like, what do you think? Are they gonna thrive? Are they even a match for Marvel? Like, what do you think is?
I think they're gonna take over. I think they're going to take over simply for the fact that they're going to be slowly introducing more heroes. For example, the Superman movie that's coming out, it's already introducing like 6 different heroes. Right?
Yeah, it's gonna have
Superman, Mr. Terrific, Hal Jordan, Hawk Girl.
no. That's not Hal
No,
Jordan.
that's not Hal Jordan.
That's Guy Gardner.
Yeah. Sorry. Hawk Girl, right? So we already have 4 with Superman. There is one, the one that has like different skin types. That's a superhero.
Different skin types.
Yeah. I forget the name. I'm gonna look it up, but eventually we'll figure it out.
Metamorpho. Okay.
Yeah, that guy. Metamorpho.
Okay.
Yeah, I just don't know how to explain his look, but you know, he's like a bunch of stuff. But Metamorpho's in there. So, what is it, like 5 now?
5.
That's a lot of superheroes in one single movie, and it's the first movie that we're getting.
And
Crypto.
It's the first time that we actually see a live action Crypto.
Yeah. So I'm not surprised if later down the line we're getting Supergirl, right? Eventually, I'm sure we're gonna get the whole entire maybe more of the Green Lanterns, the Red Lanterns, the Yellow Lanterns. Like, he is opening the door for so much.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's great because he's from the get-go saying, this is the first movie. Everything else is to come. Like, we're giving you so many characters that people are like, who the hell are they? But like, for someone who's reads comics, who've seen them, who watches it, you're like immediately like, oh my God. Like, he's bringing heroes from like a bunch of different places that can steam to different stories. So I think that could potentially give the upper hand. However, Marvel comes with Doomsday in 2026 or 2027?
2027.
Okay. Which is one of the most anticipated movies of all time, right?
Yeah.
After Thanos and Endgame, because it's Doctor Doom finally going to be showing on screen, and I love Doctor Doom.
And they have like all of the movies that they've made, they haven't made a good Doctor Doom.
Yeah, exactly. And it's bringing that grandiose amount of superheroes again, like to make it like this is all the heroes again. Yeah. Kind of like the Avengers had that everybody was like, oh my God, there's so many heroes. And I think that's why right now DC has the opportunity to take the upper hand by slowly introducing them, but like doing it kind of like in a cohesive way. Kind of like Marvel did at the beginning, that they were connecting them little by little, and you're like, oh my God, disconnected with this, disconnected with that. And I would never forget how that felt. Like, you're like little connecting at the end of every story. You're like, oh my God, everything is connected. And then they connect in Avengers, and you're like, oh.
What now? When it comes to games, because
wait, what do you think?
Honestly, I don't know, and I'm glad that I don't know. Seeing how Marvel's trajectory has been going down and down and down and down and down, I think like what you just said, it made me realize that they could take over very easily, and I'm glad because Marvel has been riding the coattails of we're just better, and they've been lazily doing stories that don't make sense. Yeah. And now they're going to have real competition, and they're going to have real, badass characters. Yeah. You know what I would love to see now that DC is kind of taking over? A really good Spawn movie. Like a dark, greedy, just R-rated Spawn movie. Maybe they could bring back Michael Jai White. He's still amazing. Maybe they could do like the real stories, because in the movie it was kind of like janky, a lot of the things. But I think they could bring in like that sense of like, I'm gonna kill you.
I think one of the things that might hinder that progress, if it's done right, is I was reading not long ago that there might be an X-Men movie. And they might be bringing the X-Men movie to its original characters, with like suits and everything. Like, they're trying to keep it original. Now, this is just speculation. This is something I was reading. But if they do that, it's over. Yeah. Because if they really pull off a really good X-Men movie, where like the original suits, where you get a good Cyclops, you get a phenomenal Wolverine, replacing obviously the amazing Hugh Jackman. But if you hit the spot, I see that one. It's difficult. I see that one being
when it comes to games, because we had Rocksteady that did the Batman,
the amazing Batman.
Yes. The Arkham series. Even like Arkham Origins, who people give a lot of shit to. I love that game. I think introduced so many great things, but
it was introduction.
But no, like Arkham Origins, not.
Arkham Asylum was the one introduced.
Arkham Origins.
Yeah, sorry. But Arkham Origins is phenomenal.
It's fantastic.
Beautiful.
But they did what is it? Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. Not a good game. They did the Arkham Knights or whatever it was, or yeah, terrible game.
No, I played both of them, and I just don't like the fact that they're going for like. I understood the idea behind Arkham Knights, kind of going like an RPG. The Batman dies, and they're kind of trying to go for that. In its essence, was good, but it's just I don't know why. I don't know for me. I don't know. To be honest with you, I can't pinpoint exactly why it didn't stick the landing for me, but I can for the Justice League, especially saying that game was a live and needed to be connected to the internet.
Yeah,
first of
live
all,
service.
like, come on, you come from Batman where you were playing the story by yourself, and then now you make it a live service. I'm like, why? And the battle passes and stuff like that. I'm like,
yeah, that's Warner Brothers being Warner Brothers. But now, for example, we have Marvel Rivals. We have another Marvel game that just came out that it's like an RPG Marvel game. We have, all of these Marvel properties. We're going to have Wolverine. We had Spider-Man. We have the two amazing Spider-Man games. What do you think would be the direction of DC moving forward? Do you think there's a good DC game that is going to come out outside of like maybe an Injustice 3 that I think is going to come out?
In the next 5 years, maybe.
What do you think?
In the next 5 years, maybe, depending how the Gunniverse goes. I think a lot of it is resting on the shoulders of this Superman and how it's going to take over, or like how the next movies for DC are going to take over. The reason being because one of the reasons why Marvel has been able to do so much is because they're everywhere.
Right.
They've been everywhere. So everybody's craving a new Spider-Man game, a new Wolverine. Everybody's craving a little bit of that. The X-Men 97 came out. Everybody's craving a little bit of something, right? And like I said, we'll talk a little bit more in detail of that because there's so much to talk about. But I feel like that's one of the main things because DC has cool characters, but not enough exposure to them to say like, okay, we need a game about, I don't know, one of the most random heroes. I don't know. Or like, for example, Shazam. Let's just use Shazam. There's not enough for somebody, to a developer, to say, I'm going to develop a game for Shazam, right? Opposing to like Wolverine is everywhere.
Yeah.
We just got Deadpool versus Wolverine. People are looking forward to that Wolverine game from Insomniac, who was also the great Spider-Man games. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like there's not that, it's not enough for somebody to pick up a game that they may not work.
Yeah.
Because there's certainly material. It's just, if you like, you make a Green Lantern game and like nobody picks it up, it's like, you know, that's a lot of money that will go down the drain. Like a lot of money.
Correct. And to me, one of the biggest like tragedies when it comes to everything that is going on with DC is that DC is a progenitor of most of the comic characters that Marvel has. Because let's face it, let's be real, Marvel copied like 80% of the roster from DC. You have Superman, you have Batman, you have Wonder Woman, you have Green Lantern, you have the Flash. All of those characters Marvel copied. The only character that DC copied from Marvel was Aquaman, because they copied Namor. And what is it? What was his power? No, he doesn't say anything with his power. He just blows a horn.
But I was like, you want me to make that noise?
Yeah. Namor is here to kill you.
By the way, the Phoenix Force, I'm sorry. I know we can't. It's just, see, that's the thing about Marvel. Yeah. They have so much things going that is like, it's impossible not to talk about them. Yeah. But with Season 3, they released some of the skins. I already saw a leak of some of the skins. Namor has a really cool skin.
Yeah.
Anyways, not.
Yeah. So I would love for DC to have another fighting game, but not to be Injustice. Injustice has its place, and I love the fact that Injustice has that great storyline, great acting, great everything. But let's have one that is just fun.
Yeah, I mean, Injustice is gonna come out, another one.
Right, but let's have another one, like a DC game that is just maybe a side scroller or like a 2v2, whatever. But let's just have fun. Let's make the DC universe fun.
Yeah.
Let's make it just joyous and just fun and funny and just lighthearted. That not everything has to be this like
Yeah.
deep existential story, which again has its place. They have been doing it well, but I think there's also need to be a shift because
Yeah.
not everybody's willing to do that. Not everybody's willing to have such a like dark, deep existential story. People just want to go in, kick some ass, and then go to sleep.
Yeah, and I think that's why part of that Batman was so good is because not only had a really dark story,
Yeah,
but like the gameplay was good.
Amazing.
The way that they portrayed the Batman was phenomenal, and from beginning to end, it was a cohesive story that was like, wow. Like
Yeah.
I put my controller down, I was like, yeah,
yeah,
that was good.
yeah.
And then they fucked it up. Anyways, Superman movie. I need a Superman game.
Yeah.
One of my favorite superheroes, and most of my favorite superheroes come from DC, right? Like DC has my favorite superheroes. I love the Batman.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite superheroes of all time as well is Superman. That's why I'm so excited about Superman.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously the Flash. I love the Flash. Barry Allen was phenomenal. And
Yeah.
the TV show,
Mm-hmm.
I think, was by far one of the better ones.
Yeah.
And actually the Superman and Lois, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Actually had really good stuff in it. So that show was actually genuinely had really good stuff in it. Arrow, I think it's called,
Yeah. Arrow.
had really good stuff to it.
It to
Like
me.
the TV shows were going the right direction.
Yeah.
They were
Like,
doing good
the
stuff.
first 2 seasons of Arrow, it is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Like with Deathstroke.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, that was such a great thing. The moment where Arrow fell for me was when he was just a copy of Batman. Where he's
Yeah.
like, I'm not gonna kill anymore, but when he was like
Yeah.
taking dudes out, like the famous line of "You have failed this city," and that to me was so great. And then he was like, "I'm not gonna kill anymore." It's like, okay, you're just Batman.
Yeah, I think it had what Daredevil has for it going, the brutality.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons why that Daredevil was being so good, because it's showcasing Daredevil being brutal, like going through some brutal fights,
Yeah.
suffering, bleeding, going through it, and then you have the Punisher being
Even
incredibly
worse. Yeah.
significantly more brutal. And
Yeah.
I think that's kind of like the beginning of Arrow was kind of like that. Like it was brutal. It was cool because you're like, man, this is cool, which I think Teen Titans try to do.
Yeah.
And
But it failed from the beginning when the trailer came out and he goes, "Fuck Batman." It's like, really? That's the attitude that you have? Fuck Batman? That's why, like, the Teen Titans show, and not Teen Titans Go. I hate Teen Titans Go. To me, is such a betrayal of who the characters are. The original Teen Titans, it was such an amazing show. I've rewatched it time and time and time again. And the movie Trouble in Tokyo, it is great. It is amazing. It is funny. It's everything that we've been talking about.
Yeah.
It is funny. It is lighthearted, but it also has its like tremendously dark moments. It has, a really fun cast of characters that nobody knew who the Teen Titans were. And they brought in things like the Judas Contract. They brought in things like, the death of Terra. They brought in the everything that Slate did to Robin, all the psychological trauma that Slate got to Robin.
Yeah.
Starfire's trouble with his sister and how they had to go out in outer space.
Raven.
Raven
The whole
with the
story of Raven.
Trigon. Yeah. Trigon?
No, I don't think it's called Dragon, is it?
You had Beast Boy, and when he was in his Doom Patrol, like everything that was with that to me was amazing. And the fact that they made it so lighthearted, so silly at times, because you had Robin, who's this like, I have to be the leader, I have to be the, and sometimes you had him do like some like, I promise it wasn't me, and he was scared and he was nervous. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, he was still being a kid, a child, and yeah, instead of the Teen Titans Go, that is like overly. Now you're going from lighthearted to overly lighthearted
Goofy
to goofy, where I get it. You're introducing a younger audience to the Teen Titans. I understand. But then you introduce also in it, Superman sometimes shows up, Batman sometimes shows up.
And they're like the dumbest versions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, I think that we are in a good spot right now for DC to take the turn and take maybe the upper hand. Do they have the money to do it? I don't know. Because
they have the money.
Well, but the money to invest so much into it, I don't know. Because Marvel went out like massive, investing
No,
crazy, but I don't know if they can.
I think they have the money. I don't know if they have the patience.
Okay, I just think that I really want DC to succeed.
Yeah,
I really want
agree.
to start seeing more DC everywhere. Like I want to be plagued with DC everywhere. So I'm like talking about it DC because every time I talk about superheroes, my mind switches immediately to try to talk about Marvel.
Yeah,
Because they've been doing so good
yeah.
with the media, with everything that is just immediately my brain toggles. And I don't know if you guys have the same idea. Like your brain immediately goes into Marvel because of so much things that we see from it.
I mean, we have done it all throughout this episode where we're
Yeah.
talking about DC, and then it's like, but Marvel, and we need to change that narrative.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I hope that all of this gets better and better and better for DC because they could be making great content.
Before we go,
Yeah.
last question.
Mhm.
And if you made it to this part of the video, thank you so much. I hope you can answer this question as well yourself. But if you were to play one character from DC, if they say a studio calls you and says you can play any character from DC, who would you play?
That is a tremendously awesome question, and I love it. If I could play a character from DC,
Villain, hero, anti-hero, whatever you want to do it. Whoever you
I
want.
would love to play, if it's done right, a Mr. Freeze.
Okay.
I love that character. Let's do hero and villain.
Okay.
Villain, I would love to do Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze has one of the greatest stories ever told in comics. And it even came from a TV show because he wasn't even from the comics. He came from Batman the Animated Series.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to play a superhero, I would love to play, what's this guy's name? Kyle Rayner.
Okay.
Because I think his stories are so good. Or Beast Boy. Like if it's like voice acting, Beast Boy for sure. I love Beast Boy.
Okay. That's cool. I think, obviously, not because I have the looks of it, but just because I think he's a really cool villain, Sinestro, from the Yellow Lanterns.
Yeah.
Dude, really cool villain.
Yeah.
Really cool villain. I know I don't have the looks for it. Not remotely close.
Who fucking cares? He's an
But
alien. Who
if
gives
they're
a
like,
shit?
You have a character? Choose one. I'll be like, yeah, I'll play Sinestro.
Like, who cares,
Why
bro?
But, and then in Hero, man, like, I was thinking about Beast Boy.
Yeah, I
love Beast Boy.
Beast Boy is the best, bro.
He's awesome.
Especially, again, my love for Beast Boy came from the Teen Titans TV show because he's the character, he's a good counterbalance of, like, levity but also seriousness. And like when he has his storyline where he gets infected with Atlas and he becomes like the kind of like a werewolf type of character. I love that because and I love that he's a vegetarian. I love that he is like so conscious of every animal.
It's amazing.
I love it. I love it.
The other superhero I would like to play, which is I guess a counter to Mr. Fantastic, would be the Elastic Man. I think he's a really cool character.
Plastic Man.
Plastic Man, yeah.
Well, there's two: Elastic Man and Plastic Man.
The one that is in Injustice, when Flash is going down to the prison.
Plastic Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is really good. He's a really cool character.
You know what character I think,
especially when he like go inside of like that's awesome.
You know what character, like in all seriousness, I based on my personality, I think I would be a good fit for Booster Gold. Because we're both kind of like arrogant pricks that learn to be better and that learn to be better humans. But yeah, Booster Gold is all about show and tell and being like, yeah, look at me. I know I would crush that role, unfortunately.
But definitely let us know in the comment down below a villain and a superhero. Maybe you be willing to do one the same as we did, or maybe choose somebody else completely different, right? And then we'll see you in the next episode where we're going to be talking about Marvel, as we already kind of did this episode anyways, but I guess we'll do it again.
Yeah. So where can they find you on social media?
Dan Valder. That's it.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you. We'll see you every other Monday since we changed our schedule. We love you. Thank you so much. Stay tuned for season 2 because we have crazy things coming and we're going to release a trailer for it so that you guys know exactly what we're doing for season 2 beware.
Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you. Peace.